Might have
Look at this.
misspoken.
Look at this appearance, you guys. You don't get these kind of appearances on my channel. He's too good with it. Look at this. You've got the tuxedo on. He's got the sunglasses. He's got everything, you guys. I'm just being outplayed on this. So that's amazing. Excellent outfit, Eivind. How are you doing, sir?
Doing very well. Doing very well.
Hey, and what about all this dollar strength? Oh my goodness. Look at the DXY as we're speaking here. Look at the dollar just absolutely flying. This is crazy. What's your take on all this, Eivind?
Yeah, what is my take? I think, well, I'm getting pretty good at these prediction things as my rules, but
yeah,
no, it's just gone. Okay, just let's say you've been right. I was wrong this week. Congratulations.
Well, to be fair, I didn't have too many longs open myself, so I can't really claim a whole bunch of credit, but this is pretty incredible in terms of just a breakout. We haven't seen this, kind of clean breakout from a previous top in a while. We've actually had the dollar continuously kind of making these tops and then failing to ever get above them. But, it happens. The thing is, to be fair, Eivind, I've had not the best trading week and I've been missing out a little bit of this dollar. Yeah, no, I got beat up a little bit on the CAD. I mentioned that earlier in my stream. CAD was a little rough to me, so actually I'll show it to you real quick and then we'll jump into your concepts here. So I went long CAD yen. I got beat up on CAD yen twice. Tried at the 50%. Just it met all my criteria for an entry. Bullish on oil. Reasonable to me. It just I hate how TradingView does this sometimes, where it erases your orders. There it is. Okay, so I bought at the 50%, got stopped out, and then I tried one more time at the 61.8 and got stopped out here today. I'm not really too sure what's going on with it since the oil market itself has been doing fine. It's tricky, but that's my problems. Don't worry about my problems. Let's talk about this dollar here, and let's talk about what you're looking at, Mr. Eivind. What do you got going on?
I am in oil.
Okay.
I don't trade oil, but I'm in oil now.
I saw that you made a video about it. So tell us about oil. What's going on with oil? And if you want to share your screen, I'd love to see what you're looking at.
It's a Ukraine thing, but I see some issues here. And the issues is definitely that Mr. Iran is going back online. But just one more comment on CAD yen. The thing is that I talked about in the VIP live, in the VIP webinar on Wednesday, is when you have a central banking meeting and there's no more new updates as to future rate hikes more than markets already priced in, market falls. So
no, I definitely
now we know. Now we learn, right?
A little bit of divergence from the oil market. It was tracking it very closely and then kind of fell apart. So perhaps that was a little bit of it in there. So you're looking at oil. You have a position open. Are you looking to buy? Yeah. What's your concept?
I bought. Well, I'm gonna go super technical, and I bought. Let's see which candle I bought. I bought this candle here, which is the low, the brick fall yesterday, coming back up, and then around 109.90. It's a bit of different price from my broker, but that's the same candle-ish. So I'm somehow in profit.
Okay, nice.
Somehow in profit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with oil pretty straight up. That's like, to me, oil and gold for now are just a straightforward story. And I feel like, Evan, we very commonly fall into the same line because we tend to trade those momentum, obvious, reasonable stories that are going on in the markets and not trying to fight the headlines all the time. And so I'm with you on oil. Where do you see oil going? What's your thoughts on that? You mentioned Iran situation. You've also obviously got the Ukraine and Russia situation as well. So what's your concepts on targets here? 125. Okay. Big round number. That's a ways away. You've got to scroll down for us to even see that, don't you? Yeah, look at that. 125 is far away. What's your reasoning behind 125?
I just saw another bank saying that, but I'm thinking, well, this sounds like a good idea. Also, it does. It has some reasons to it, and one of them is psychological. We broke 100. We broke 110, and I could also have said 120, but right now it's kind of like not necessarily shot in the darkness, but it's more like how far back do we go? Okay, so we go back to these levels here. This is around 125, and the technical reason is that my reasoning is underneath a peak, there's always going to be resistance around here. So in my analysis, it's somewhere around here. and out, and I found 125 the other day at least, as to be a logical take profit place. But right now, also going into break even, it's going to be a very it's going to be a risk-free trade for me soon. So it's going to be to the moon. And also, we are about to break this peak here, and that's why I see that we have more potential rises to the upside. Just one other comment, Edward Mikkelsen. If you have any questions, please, I will answer them. But other than that, I do see that Iran coming in is a danger to my theory to the upside. But as long as the market is still seeing the risk of Ukraine, the risk of Nord Stream went bankrupt, the company behind Nord Stream 2 actually filed for bankruptcy, I think yesterday or this morning. So that's definitely not good. Definitely not good for the oil price.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is the process of turning this thing around with let's say the best case scenario, things start to turn around. There's still supply line issues. We saw this with the pandemic, right? It wasn't something that even when things started to adapt, it took time, and it's still taking time to fix the supply lines. So this disruption, I agree with you. I don't think that oil is done, in the sense that this disruption is not something that's just going to, okay, turn it back on, it's all good. This is going to be something that could potentially compound for a little while. And 125 to me sounds reasonable. I think that it potentially could go to 150. I mean, it's a shot in the dark, like you mentioned. It's a little bit of a ways away. But again, if anything worsens, 150 is very reasonable. If things subside, they could still kind of rise in the short term just due to supply line issues. That's my take on it personally.
But the thing is, for supply line, and for what's different here is, for example, when US oil went down to negative 36 back in COVID, that is because in America you have physical storage on land. You can't just put it on ships and sail it somewhere. So you can store it somewhere. So it's the oil being stored at the wrong place. It's somewhere in America, somewhere in Japan, and it's not where it's needed in Europe. Sure. So it's the physical distance from it. We have oil for 1.5 years of Russian production, if that goes away, but it's not where it needs to be, and that's why we are seeing the oil price going so high.
Sure. Yeah, no, and I think going off of your concept there, I wanted to ask you a question too, because I've been facing this, and you may have heard something similar. So this concept, right, with oil buying it, obviously from the weekly chart, I'm long on gold as well, and it kind of looks a little bit silly when you look at the weekly chart. You're like, how are you long up here? It looks like it's way too high. But the problem is, right, a lot of times new traders, they get caught up trying to fight momentum, and the momentum around this story right now is very, very strong. So, Eivind, for just playing devil's advocate, again, I agree with you, but why would you buy up here? It seems so high. What would be your response to that for people who ask you that sort of question?
It's a scalp. I have low risk, as to if I lose, I don't lose much. But also, I have then again used my rules of engagement. So I'm following my strategy that I have through demo trading, proven that is profitable. And why would I buy so high is because I'm generally mostly a trend trader. So as long as this trend continues, I am then going to continue buying. And then, yes, we have gone through all the targets that I've had, weekly, monthly, whatever it is. So we are very high, yes, but that's also when you adapt yourself to the situation by going down to scalping and not expecting too much. But when you do get it, you hold on for dear life.
Yes, and it's sometimes these are the moves that if you can catch something, like you just said, hold on to dear life. If you can catch them and hold on to them in a rare situation where it just does not stop flying in one direction, those are the best kinds of trades. You can capture great risk to reward. So I'm definitely with you on that. Eivind, what's your thoughts on gold following up on this? Of course, I mentioned I'm bullish on gold. That's the one trade that's kind of been holding out for me this week. Bought gold at 19. What did I buy it at? I bought gold at my level is, if I can find it, I just pulled it up. 1926 is where I got in on gold. So what do you think about gold right now?
I mentioned 1920 as the absolute support needs to hold for a continuation of the bullish trend. And I kind of also need to say that gold can move a lot on NFP. So just to make sure that even though it comes down pretty hard, it can still go higher. And 1920 was my like psychological cutout, and we are still higher. And for me and gold at the moment is, well, technically we can just make a higher high, pull back something on Monday, and we are still very much bullish. And I've seen people being afraid of gold falling. It is definitely a legitimate feeling, but right now we are technically bullish. We're technically supposed to make a higher high. You just need to see the actual make a new higher high. So right now I'm cautiously bullish.
Yeah, and I think my process with that is similar to you. I've had to kind of step outside of my comfort zone in the sense of gold, because if I look at the weekly chart, I don't love it. But as a momentum trader, or I like it on the weekly, it looks very strong, but I don't like to be buying up in these areas. However, like you kind of mentioned, going with the flow, being a little bit shorter term, and managing your risk with tight stops with this sort of approach, for me, is kind of the plan here. Until this story subsides, I don't think that you're gonna get. You actually made a point one time. We talked about this, Eivind, with dollar CAD. We had a huge move up, and you said if this retraces 100%, the story is done. You said that recently about, I think it was something Bank of Canada related or something. It was a huge pop on the dollar CAD. And the thing is, right, it's a similar story in my book with gold. If we see a massive correction, the story has probably subsided by then. Something has changed in the momentum story. So that's kind of my process on gold. I can't remember exactly when that was.
But yeah.
Yeah, just the idea of 100% retracement after a very strong rally is concerning, because what caused it to 100% retrace? So for me on gold, I'm looking for shallow retracements and bailing on it if it breaks, complete structure. So that would be my personal take on it. So what else are you looking at, Eivind? So you've got the oil trade on. Is there anything else that you're trading or looking at?
S&P 500, just a 20-year trade that I'm trying to get going. I'm just tracking what the banks are currently doing. They're currently just having 1 basis point rate hike, so we are still good. Because just one more thing is that Powell said yesterday that they are opening up for 2 rate hikes in 1 meeting, and they needed strong job report. We have that now, but I might be subjected to that being the next meeting in May. I have S&P 500 open, and my entry is probably the best one I've ever done. There.
Okay, hey, you know what? It's an entry. It is an entry. Hey, you know what, you guys, if you're watching this stream and you're enjoying this transparency, Eivind and I have both been talking about our ups and our downs here. So this happens. It doesn't matter how good you are, how long you've been doing this. Sometimes you just take a trade and it's not what you intended it to do, but it's all good. So what's your idea here with S&P? You still giving it some room to run?
Yeah. That was the higher high. I was thinking, yes, finally we're going higher. Sure. Let's go, Bulls. No.
It baited you a little bit. It got you on that one. It's okay though. It happens. Like I said, I got beat up this week a little bit on my cat idea, so it happens.
So it's an aggressive trade. I identify that a stop loss is somewhere around below these lows here, and it's a small one. It's like, okay, if we are able to break higher, then I'm going to go more aggressive, going to more buying on the pullbacks. But of course, it's just the first attempt. Does it stick? Does it not? If it not, okay, we'll wait for a new higher high then. Because I am very super chill about S&P 500 or the stock market, because it's going to go up in the end. I just don't know which day it's going to be. And sure, I have plenty of room to still try my charts over there. So
you saw that one? That's a sniper entry. Feisty Tom in the chat. Good one.
Good one, Tom. So that is my advantage of my strategies as well as yours. Once I get it going, I become way more aggressive. Sure, I add way more trades. Always having 1 trade full stop loss, but taking trades into break even, take it into break even as we continue higher.
Yeah, and I'm definitely with you. There's nothing wrong with throwing darts, trying it out small, and then building into a position. I think personally, I definitely like what you mentioned about adding. Some of my best trades personally usually are trades in which I add. You know, they're things that I build into. So, yeah, definitely interesting. So you're looking at S&P 500, you're looking at oil. Anything else that you're trading, or is that everything you've got for now?
Euro broke 110.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
And I said, I will see a bounce here today.
Yeah. This thing is I think it died, Eivind. I think it went home for the holidays or something. The holidays aren't even here. It just went home.
It just literally just went to bankruptcy, like died.
Yeah. Terrible. So the euro dollar absolutely collapsed. And you know, this is a sore subject for me, Eivind. I've been short bias on the euro dollar for weeks, and I wanted this. I wanted it so well. Actually, I caught a good move previously, but I didn't catch this part. So of course, the FOMO part of me is sitting here like, I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda been in this FOMO trade, you know, but it happens. But that's a crazy sell-off. That was hard to try and call that kind of move.
Do we need to have a Zoom call about your psychology here, Nick?
I think so. I think so.
We need this is supposed to be your absolute prime trade, and this should be going.
I know. I think I need a break. I think I need to step away from the screen for a little bit. Now that's someone said looks like a nuclear entry, Eivind. We're having fun, you guys. It's Friday. We gotta rejoice in our losses because they all happen to all of us. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing. Smug guys, yeah, we're smug around here. We gotta be smug. We gotta have fun with it because man, this is the worst. Is when you have an idea for a couple weeks and then you watch it sail away from the dock without you. But it's okay. There's always markets back in the next week and the next day. That's at least what you got to keep telling yourself. EivindFx. Here you go. EivindFx. There he is. Go follow Eivind on YouTube. He deserves 2 subscriptions if you can give it to him. But that's all I've got. Thank you, Eivind. So,
interested in seeing our trades live as they happen? By joining the A1 Trading Discord, you'll get a notification every time one of our traders enters a position. Each trade we share comes with an entry price, a stop loss, and most importantly, a full breakdown of why the trade was taken. Learn alongside our experienced traders, join our active chat room, and ask your questions in our coaching webinars. Between our team of active traders, we trade forex pairs, commodities like gold and oil, crypto, and stocks. By joining the group, you'll be able to keep up with all of it. Sign up today using the link in the description, and don't forget to use our promo code listed below for a special subscriber discount. Thanks for watching, and see you inside.